Turn that music down a little bit. I don't have to talk over it so much. Okay guys, we're doing our qualifying round for the pro level tournament prep group. We're gonna take a quick like 10-15 minutes maybe, and we're gonna play a little bit of Tour 9, just some practice. You know, I got a few things I want to go over for a couple people that had some questions, and you know, they asked me in Messenger. You know, and then it'll be easier to do without focusing on our tournament prep at the same time. Plus, it's always good to get a little warm up in before you you start playing. So let's see. Oh, hey. Looking here. All right. Now you guys that are already in the prep group have seen this bag, but for Deborah, this is an account that I use just to stream for pro. I purposely don't let it level up any further than this, so that the clubs aren't too far advanced for pro. Your clubs are better, so this will be pretty easy. We're gonna get into, no, not there. There we go. Go to Tour 9. We're gonna dump those 300 trophies, so we might let some of our opponents have some wins after we play World Tee to Green. Try to keep about Tour 7 max, Tour 8 about 200 or 300, and maybe like 100, 150 in Tour 9. That way we can really disconnecting. Oh no, maybe it's just a. Oh, look at that win. Okay. I mean, the first thing we talk about the rings. Okay. The extra miles are like 45% accuracy, so I mean, round up and say it's almost 2 per ring. You don't have to get crazy. So white ring is 2, using the take shot button. So there's 2, 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10 is in the middle of the yellow circle, which is what I was telling you earlier. So if I were to go there, the whole yellow circle is 12, 10, 12. So that's kind of how the rings work. We're running out of time, so let's just smack one.
Great shot!
Worked out okay. I figured it would. But, you know, and that's how the rings basically work no matter what. You just gotta know. You don't have to, you know every every tiny 3.15, 6, 7, 8, 9 decimal place adjustment for the win rings. You know, 100% is 1 ring or pop, 50% is 2. 75 is then 1.5. The only reason I even gave you that win chart, Deborah, is it's good to know what the outside ring is to every club. So you know if you're within quote unquote tolerance. So let's take the extra mile, 7, 45, 48, whatever the accuracy is. I think it's something like 10.5 or 11 to the outside ring, because it's a little more. I want to say 10.5. You can review that chart, but whatever driver you use and whatever club you're using. I think you had a POC 4 accuracy on that, 60 something. You know, so you can look at that and you can see that it's probably like 7.5 or 8.5, whatever the chart says to the outside ring. You know, and then wind. We keep getting straight wind, so it's hard for me to show. Oh, have I been talking this whole time? Shit. Hopefully that's enough slice. That was a super fast adjustment. Yep, we did it. Sitting over here talking, not paying attention, it was my turn, but there we go. It was too straight of a wind. I really wanted to kind of show you a little bit what I was talking about earlier about how you curl towards or with the wind. That wind was super straight, so obviously I curled in because I didn't have time to make the adjustment. I just purposely missed on the right, about where I thought I needed to curl to get it to turn the corner. You know, once you get to a certain point in your game, the rings
Perfect shot.
And micro adjustments and all that are less important, and you can play the game more just on feel. You know, because you know all these things in the back of your head, and you know, but experience tells you, okay, I need to make this little adjustment here, there. Because what you get with the wind is, you know, there's other factors that aren't really always taken into consideration by newer players. Say like this shot. Okay, you know, yeah, I get a little line going there. Pretend there's some ball guides. You know, I can move X amount of rings. You know, because this club's, you know, see, okay, there's max distance. So that's where the 95 accuracy would be like 1.1 per ring. You know, minimum distance on a wedge is pretty much anything. So just based on experience, we're gonna go over here on this outside edge.
Perfect
should
shot.
Be kind of close, maybe in. I don't know. We'll see. Yep, we got it.
Eagle.
You just get a feel for how to play those shorter shots. You know, like I didn't use the rings right there. I just kind of, I know that, you know, the wind's not going to affect the ball very much because I'm so close and because it was mostly tail with just a little bit of side, but it is going to affect it a little bit. And plus that hill on that one, just knowing from experience, kind of slopes a little bit to the right as it rolls down. So I, you know, move the ball far enough to the left side, just outside the cup, to leave some room there. You know, you might, you know, have the rings taken into consideration a little bit to say that was like a long iron shot, you're like 160 yards out. Or whatever, with like a Goliath, or 135,
Perfect
whatever
shot.
the Goliath's max distance is. It'll be a little different.
Nice on.
We're supposed to be dumping trophies and we're gaining them. We'll see if he plays. If he plays the game, we'll give him the match for sure. Probably not. Alright. Yep. We'll have to try to remember to get to the next guy. No, stop trying to play a tournament. But, you know, so don't get too caught up on rings. You know, a lot of beginning players, you know, or players that have, you know, kind of gotten to a certain point. Obviously, you're no beginner. You've made it through several tours. But you know, you get to a certain point and you start to run into like a little bit of a wall. You know, it's because, you know, you can have no idea about the adjustments of the rings and kind of be eyeballing everything, but you can also have too much of an idea. And here's a good one. All right, so we have some pretty vicious side wind. Obviously, I'm going to want some top spin. I'm going to put a little, you know, I'm going to put a little side spin because I want it to kind of hug this corner. All right, and we know, you know, I'm going to be at max distance. We're not going to be at anything less than max distance, so I don't really need to spin the screen and do all that. You know, and we just talked about to the outside of that white ring from the center of the yellow line, ball guide passing through it is about 10.5. So, you know, if we put the white line right there, that's going to get us about where we want to go. Full over power. Now what I'm going to do to cancel out the wind is play curl into the wind.
Perfect shot.
And now see the ball is still taking kind of a draw trajectory. It's not being pushed out by the wind, so it's going to hold the line that I chose for it to fly on. Strong wind, a little more curl. If that had been like 5 mile per hour wind, I would have put less curl. You know, basically what I'm doing is you can put enough curl into the wind to just cancel out the wind and make the ball kind of fly straight. We can put a little extra curl like I did here and actually get it to draw into the wind a little bit. Or, you know, you can, you know, I'm probably not going to do too many of those on this course, but for this tournament, but you can play that full hook slice shot you see everybody play to really just, you know, take on or ride a wind. Now, if yeah, that's why that shot's dangerous with extra mile 7 or less, because you only have like 50 topspin, and if there's a little bit of headwind kills your topspin. All right, now I could force it this way, but I don't see the point. Riding the wind for this shot should be easier. All right, so definitely gonna want some top. All right, now we know our sniper. Again, we're at max distance, so we don't need to spin the screen. We don't need to do a lot of stuff. We know from the yellow circle to the white outside edge is 5. We want it to land somewhere in here. And we're gonna put a little extra curl, so we're gonna go a little bit more to account for the curl. Because when you curl with the wind, it exaggerates it and makes it curl harder, which means your adjustment can be a little off because there's more carry distance if you ride the wind. Not so much this wind because there's a little bit of a headwind, but that'd be like a side tailwind. The ball will go a little further if you curl with the wind, a little less distance if you push it back into the wind. You know, pushing the ball back into the wind to straighten it out takes a hair, you know, a little distance off. Curling with a wind that's not a headwind, riding the wind, if you will add a little bit of distance, so you have to be careful. A lot of people will go, okay, I'll land exactly 5 rings next to the rough,
shot,
but I'll put an extra curl, and they don't account for the fact that that little extra bit of curl is going to move them like an extra ring to the left, and they hit the rough. Or the same thing with tailwind. Well, I moved exactly 5 rings, but you were a little bit downhill, which made it go a little bit further, which made you nick the rough. All right, again, if you're actually to do this adjustment at what is about mid-distance for this club, you know, here, we'll actually do the adjustment. Inbringer 3, I forget, well, my inbringer 6 is 95. I don't know what the accuracy is on this, probably like 79. So we're at mid-distance, 79, that's probably about 4.5 rings. We'll go right about there. So, I mean, it's not that you can't learn all the mid adjustments, but I honestly, I messed that up. I honestly play better just feeling those shots out than trying to remember every, you know, it's not enough remembering what every club in your bag is just to the outside ring. That's like, you know, a bunch of stuff to remember. And then you got to remember, you know, 3 things per club, and, you know, and all the different numbers. You know, some people write it down. They have super advanced wind charts with like 50 things written on them, and if that's what works for you, go for it. But, you know, like I said, those little shorter shots, I just like to kind of feel them out and experience.
Great shot!
You just know how the wind's going to affect the ball. Holy mess, get in there. Oh, so close.
Nice on.
That was a good shot. Yeah, we will push this into, well, I guess there's no sense in pushing it into a shootout. Because if we hit too good of a shot, or if I'm hit a bad shot, we'll still end up winning the match. Don't want to get too many trophies in this tour. Alright, so that was a good example right there of curling with the wind and curling against the wind to get different results. Let's see what else we can get going on here. Now, as far as the elevation changes, a lot of times you can't see those. It really is just trial and error, course knowledge. But what I try to tell everyone in all of my prep groups at every level, from master down to rookie, is don't necessarily try to cut everything super close. Leave yourself an out. Leave yourself a bailout. You know, when I play a rough bump, I don't try to bump it right on the edge of the rough. I'll play back 2 rings and put a little extra top spin to get it to hop out and roll towards the hole. That way, if I'm off a ring or so on my adjustment, it'll still nick the rough. You see people try to rough bump, then they airball it, hit the green, and it flies out of bounds or off the reservation into some crazy bunker, and it's a terrible shot. You know, if you're gonna lay up, lay up. You know, don't try to lay up right on the edge of the rough. Lay up 3-4 rings back.
Great
Make sure you
shot.
leave yourself some room. You know, when you're trying to hook near some rough, like we did on that last one, I left myself plenty of room. You know, it wasn't going to change the chip. If I would have gotten 2 yards closer to the left and that would have made me close to the hole, that chip wouldn't have changed. Still would have been the same exact chip. So it was just, you know, I actually had someone kind of comment, and we'll fix it with curl. And over here a little bit. All right, and we'll do the take shot button since you mentioned that. Then we go 2, 4, and we'll just go 6. You know, 5.7, 0.3 is not going to make a difference. Little curl. Yep, missed the curl.
Great
I
shot.
put just a little bit of curl to kind of straighten it out because I don't want it to push off too far to the right. You know, just kind of hug over here to the left side. That probably was less safe than I'm telling you guys to play. A little close to the bunker, but you know, I'm purposely trying to get into thorn range because this is a good spot to do the full backspin thorn shot, which is one of my favorite short iron shots. I did notice there, Deborah, you like the Hornet, and that's great. The Hornet's super accurate. It's good for the rough bumps in this tournament. I've always been more of a Thorn fan because, your Hornet's more leveled up than your Thorn, but when they're both
Great
maxed
shot.
out, they have the same ball guide, basically. All
Nice
the same
on.
stats. The accuracy's a little bit different, but the increased accuracy doesn't really matter on a short iron very much because if you hit perfect, the accuracy is irrelevant. It doesn't make a perfect shot go more accurate. That's just more fudge factor if you don't hit perfect, is really what that is, and moving less rings. But I love the things that are close to 100% and 90 something accuracy, and I love the things that are around 50% because those are easy adjustments. 1 ring, 2 ring. Everyone knows how to make that adjustment. All right, now here's what I'm talking about bounce. Okay, I'm lined up for this to bounce right next to and backspin right into the hole, but with that wind, it's going to make the ball bounce to the side. So this is where I'll actually end up. So I'm going to adjust from here. Uh-oh, we're not going to get this one off in time. That'll save us the trouble of having to forfeit the hole at the end. Now we'll still try to make it, but you know, so knowing how the ball is going to bounce and kick, you can adjust side spin or just move your adjustment over a hair. You know, the wind's pushing the ball at an angle.
Birdie.
0 wind, the ball goes dead straight if you hit it perfect. There's right or left wind, a little or a lot, when the ball, not only will the ball fly through the air at kind of an angle, but it will land and bounce. Oh, we got a more friendly wind. Backspin shot. You know, we can go up here, we can say, okay, there's maximum distance. So we're somewhere right in the middle. Yeah, we'll just leave it. Alright, so what is I'm saying? So we're going to go a little further up because the wind's going to kill the bounce. It's not going to let it bounce as far. We'll go about there. And now, 50%. So we should be moving 3.5 rings right here, but we're not. We're only going to move 2.5 because we're not at max distance.
Perfect shot.
Now we didn't adjust for enough wind to the side.
Nice
But,
on.
you know what I'm saying there? The adjustment to get the ball to bounce right at the hole should have been, if you were doing the 100% of the club's max distance, it would have been 3.5 rings. Almost 4 rings because 2, 4, 6, 8. But, you know, it's less when you're closer up. And that's what I mean by minimum, mid, and max distance. You don't need to memorize all of the different ones necessarily. You can if you want to, and if it helps you, great. But the important thing is just to know that it's less so that you don't over adjust too much on those shorter shots. And eventually you'll start to learn that by pure feel, and you'll just kind of adjust the way you see it. You know, I started off my adjustment a little further up because it was a headwind. You notice in my adjustment, even though I didn't hit the shot the first time with the tailwind, was bouncing it closer to the hole. Those two things were to compensate for the wind, helping the ball bounce harder forward, and to, you know, those headwinds really make the ball check up. So think about it like this: 0 wind, 0 spin. Think about how the ball rolls. All right, now add a 5-mile-per-hour tailwind. Now, to get the exact same roll, you have to add basically 1 backspin to get that going. You know, going the same exact you know, amount of roll, if you will. We put a lot of curl on that because this is a real curly shot. We also put this a hair worth of overpower so we get right there at the end and make this fairway. So let's say you had a headwind of 5 miles an hour now, the same exact shot. So if you had a 5-mile-per-hour headwind and 0 wind, I mean, forget about where the ball lands. Obviously, we know 5 miles per hour is going to make the ball land not as far, but just if, you know, if we played 5 miles per hour wind closer on the other shot and they land in the exact same spot, the 5-mile-per-hour headwind shot is not going to roll as far from the same exact landing point as the one with no wind, because the wind makes the ball not bounce as far forward. So, you know, knowing that the wind kills the bounce, even if you adjust far enough, you're not going to get the roll out. You're not going to get the bounce that you normally would, and you're going to get too much with a tailwind. So those are things you have to take into consideration too. You can do it like I did on that thorn shot a second ago by lining up your shot. Oh, I saw your thing, Deb. No, I don't know if I'll switch to the thorn yet until it's maxed out, because the Hornet is better statistically while it's at 8 and your thorn's at 7. Once they both max, you can play with it with some friendlies, whatever tool you're on, and get used to it. You know, these are the things I tell people to practice before a tournament. Once you, I was going to give you that game, but you didn't have to forfeit. Once you get in, you know, when it's tournament time, you know, you want to kind of dance with the girl you brought, kind of thing. And I don't think the Hornet's going to be bad for this particular tournament course. One of the guys in the pro group that I'm streaming for, as soon as we're done with this, you know, part of the same stream, but, you know, we'll get to playing some tournament in a minute. He showed in our chat that there's a lot of places where you can use the Hornet, and instead of playing a bunch of backspin with the Thorn, you can use the Hornet for a close rough bump. And because it's accurate and because it has a good ball guide, the Hornet is great for a close-up rough bump, and you can get some shots to drop that way that may have not have dropped any other way. And there's a lot of shots where you won't even need the extra backspin. Oh, okay. There we go, Edward. I haven't seen the wind on this hole for real yet, but this one's for you. I told you that you could, you know, if you get a favorable wind, you could play over here. But I want to say with this wind, we don't want to get too overzealous. This is really going to ride the wind. Alright, so now I do this by feel. There is a chart that tells you how many of these to move over. I always play the shot just kind of by how I feel. I don't know, like I said, experience. Whoops. Wow, that's still overcooked the roast, even with the backspin. But, okay, so definitely more, maybe full backspin, less overpower. But, you know, if you don't get a win that you're comfortable going to, I like to go to the left, and that's the shot I would have normally played there, where our opponent's going, because you have a way better angle to go at the pin. But in certain winds, you can play that full slice shot right here and get around. Especially if it's like if it's a headwind to the side, you know, where you're even less comfortable trying to overpower and make it to that tiny gap to go to that small island. The full slice and the full hook shot. The reason people play those, one, to get the amount of curl you need to make certain types of shots, but two, because you don't have to worry about hitting perfect. All you have to do is let it stop at the end, and that's something you basically can't miss. I said we went far enough, though. We're still okay. Now, rough irons and sand irons. I don't use the rings at all for rough or sand shots regardless. Look, I'm at max distance, still not going to use the rings. no rings here. And we're also going to kind of show you. Now, I could play this with the 5-hour wind right here, maybe put a little backspin close, but I'm going to do it more like this. You know, because I'm giving myself a fatter part of the fairway to aim at here.
Great shot.
Look, we didn't even hit it perfect, but we're going to be all right. You know, I could have cut it a lot closer, could have played it further up, but you know, if I would have been off a little bit,
Nice on.
you know, then the adjustment could have nicked the rough, fell in that bunker, caught a weird bounce. You know, so I played back a little bit to a little bit bigger, fatter part of the fairway, put a little bit of topspin, you know, and made sure it came in at a good angle. You know, I used the wind here, rode the wind, so that I could curve in and come in at the angle I wanted to make it through that gap without risking going directly over any of the rough.
Great shot.
That wind would have been blowing the other way. It would have been curling a lot harder to fight the wind and get the same angle. Luckily, we got a friendly wind that was perfect for the angle we wanted to come in at. Our opponent's also going to be able to get over. He might have to put a hair worth of overpower. I feel like he did not take his... Alright. I'm not watching.
Eagle.
I must have been talking and not paying attention. I have the screen up so I can see if you guys see anything in the chat. And my phone's kind of in line with the screen, so I'm kind of watching replay. There's a little bit of a lag. I'm seeing his putt right now, where you're seeing me about to hit my putt.
Eagle.
No, anyway. But that's you know, that's what I'm talking about with the wind. Knowing how the wind's going to affect the ball, and knowing that any curl you add against it will lessen the wind's effect on pushing the ball to the side, and any curl you add with the wind is going to greatly increase it. All right, now here's a good hole right here. If you haven't played this hole or you're not familiar with it, it is downhill on this tee shot. So if I were to put the white line right next to the rough in front of the water, you know, and hit the ball, I would definitely hit the rough and go in the water, 100%. Or 5.4. Even if I move 6 rings, you know, if I did 6 mile/hour wind for that 5.4 and I put it right on the edge of the rough, I would probably go in the water. He played it a little too far back, too conservatively, and nicked the rough.
Nice on.
I'm going to show you how to avoid that. Alright, so I got a 6 mile/hour wind. So we know that, you know, from my circle to the outer edge is 5. So there's an extra ring, there's 6. Okay? But, you know, so so what I'm going to actually do is I'm going to play a little topspin. Even though the wind's going to make the ball bounce harder, and that's going to be too long, we're going to over adjust for the wind a little bit. There's 6. There's basically 7. And what I did there is I made sure I could stay far enough back. See there? We adjusted 7 miles per hour, but our landing point, that was still too hot. Our landing point was still right next to there. So actually we should have adjusted back probably another ring because of the topspin. Or we could have made that exact same adjustment, 1 mile per hour, and probably left the topspin off and made this as good. And that's one of those things that you can only, it's got to be learned by playing the courses. The elevation changes are all over the place, and the only way you can really get into that is that. So okay, I can see you if you type in the chat, Deborah. Are you kind of getting what I mean by the winds, the minimum, mid, and max, and the curl, you know, with and against the wind, you know, and how headwinds affect the ball both in the air and after it lands. Is this starting to help? I know I threw a lot at you earlier because I only had a few short breaks to talk to you. I mean, like a thumbs up in the chat or something. Yes, no. Okay, maybe she's no longer on the stream. But at any rate, I hope that helped. We're gonna go now see about playing the tournament, and I think this is the setup we're gonna start with. Alright guys, so now it's time for the pro stream. Let's take a peek. Now, some of you guys have gone ahead and pushed ahead and tried to get some good scores. You know, I like to tell all my pro and rookie guys especially, you know, we throw the Monday round. You know, play tee to green as well as you can, but you know, maybe get a couple good scores and start forfeiting from like hole 4 or 5 on. Shoot about even par or worse. Make sure you don't qualify. Bankroll allowing, of course. If your bankroll's tight and you really need to do well in this tournament, don't. But if you got tons of money, which most of us don't enter tournaments where it's going to bankrupt us if we don't do well, you know, then you got the money. Throw around, get some extra practice on the holes. Maybe even try a couple shots that you wouldn't normally try. Some of you guys went for it. We're going to go for it. But keep in mind, if you make any mistakes before hole 5 or lower, then you can always change your mind, bail, forfeit the rest, the last 3 or 4 holes, still get a non-qualifying score, and then try to get a better qualifying to make sure your tiebreaker's solid for Tuesday. Alright, so we just played this hole. We got a super helpful, easy win, so we're not going to do anything crazy. I'm going to put 3 and 3.
Perfect shot.
The wind's going to push it a little to the right, but the spin's going to kick it back to where I want it to go. Just kind of hold in that left side a little bit. And we have a pretty decent angle at the pin. All you guys have been around for a little while. Edward, I know. Heatley, you guys know this hole. You know how to play it. You know this is the good play, the good angle. You know, Chris, I'm less familiar with your game, but I'm sure you've ran across this hole on Tour 4, so same thing here from the second tee box in a pro tournament. We got a super friendly win. We're going to take the easy
Perfect
route
shot.
and just try to get an albatross the easiest way. With a win this friendly and if the second shot win, we'll see that in a minute. Well, some of you guys have already played and already seen it, so you know, but oh, that's friendly too. Okay, so I would definitely expect to see some people, not a ton necessarily, but definitely see some albatrosses. And I think we're going to do 3. We're going to start just to the side of the hole. I think we'll try adjusting pretty much for the win. I think we're less than max distance by a hair, but oh, we hit
Great shot.
Maybe it'll go in. Sometimes you hit great and it just goes in anyway. Nope, we ended up further to the right. That great killed us. Got to hit the perfect. But
Nice on.
we know this hole's not going to be a problem. We know this hole should be eagled all week long with no trouble. And if we get an albie to fall, awesome.
Great shot. Nice
If you're still
on.
watching, that shot in the rookie tournament will be easier because you won't have to really worry about the top spin, most likely, or not much anyway, because you'll land a lot closer. If you have any kind of tailwind, in fact, be careful not to land in the rough in the air. Make sure you leave yourself enough room to hop over right there.
Eagle.
You know, it's just a qualifier. We're not thinking anything crazy. You know, we just want to kind of get a feel for our adjustments. You know, we just want to make sure we shoot, you know, the 12 under that we should shoot. just play safe, mistake-free,
Eagle.
hone in the adjustments. You know, we'll try to get, you know, really honed in, get those extras on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, Sunday. Honestly, I never like a qualifying round where too much stuff drops, because it's just, I feel like you waste them, because you're not going to get stuff to drop every round necessarily. Even if you hit it the exact same way, perfect every time, you know, one will lip out, one will go in. I always feel like I'm saving them for the weekend if they don't go in during qualifying rounds. You know, opening round, okay. You know, maybe that's okay. Give me a strong tiebreaker, but I don't want to make like 3 albatrosses in a qualifying round, because I'm not going to make any in the weekend.
Perfect shot.
Pretty good shot. Very good shot. A little hot. It's going to hold.
Nice
I'd take
on.
it, though. I will take it. We get inside of that, I'll be stoked.
Perfect shot.
Oh, we were a little too aggressive. The opponent was in super close, so I got a little too aggressive trying to get the kick off that hill and maybe go for no biggie. Tournaments, we don't really care about shootouts. We got tons and tons of money. No biggie. In fact, qualifier I don't mind as much, but for like the 18-hole matches, I actually get pretty bored and don't even end up playing them much time. Which hole is this? I don't really have the holes memorized in the order they come in yet. It's part 4, so we don't need to switch sniper. Oh, I remember this one. Wow, this tailwind's a little interesting. Might need more ball than this. Yeah, just a qualifying round. If it goes badly, we don't really care that much. Let's try. Now, I have plenty of berserkers on this account. Could have definitely used that to get down there. Nope. Can't do it. With a Titan ball. Alright, so we're definitely not qualifying today, which is fine. I want to try a few things just to see if they're possible for you guys. I know most of you guys don't have more than Titan balls laying around. Edward, I think you had one account that had a bunch of berserkers, but... I thought that was going to be really close. Thought I might get a rougher sand bump kind of trickle into the fairway, but nope. Way short. Now with that wind, you can definitely play over here where opponent's playing, or you can play to the right. You know, either way you can get far enough down there that the second shot's not going to be a big deal. Give us some wind again. Give us some wind again so we can try it again. Oh, there we go. Alright, let's see if this will get it.
Perfect shot.
Oh, no, but yes. You can't get that other fairway with the berserker. You know, I've already shown you guys the safe way to play it to the left in the practice stream, so you guys already have a good idea of what needs to be done in this hole. I'll say this, Edward, with the Thor 5 of yours, you have a lot more topspin than the stupid extra mile I'm playing with right now. So that shot would definitely be easily makeable for you if you want to spin a berserker and you know, you got your Malibu equipped or your Nirvana. If you know, don't land in the fairway, you won't be any worse off because it'll still be an easy
Perfect
reach.
shot.
With tailwind both times. It might be worth taking a shot though. You know, just maybe a little more side spin, a little more curl than what I used. You know, probably max side spin and, you know, half curl. Yeah, see, I mean, I used the extra mile with 50 top spin and you got like 70 something, and I'm still mid-distance Malibu into the green here. And plus there's a little bit of a backstop.
Perfect shot.
Yeah, there's a little backstop right there, so even with the tailwind, you end up just checking up and having an easy chip. So there's no reason to even try to come close to the edge, bounce off the fringe to stop it. You got that little soup bowl action going on. So I think it's totally worth taking a shot. I mean, you got, you know, berserker sitting around. You know, so if you get way down that second fairway, you get a horn or a thorn in your hand, it might be a hole for you to pick one up. You know,
Perfect
there's
shot.
not a ton of danger unless you just really miss it the ball. You know, the
Nice shot.
hit great, and you know, it still had no problem hitting the fairway at a pretty decent angle. So. Oh, hey. I don't remember which one of you it was earlier, but you had a very weird chip. Like you were like way over here and it rolled like a mile around. Okay, let's say I'm aiming right here. Let's say this chip's a little longer than it is. You know, and oh no, I'm getting two different lines. It's doing the line flicker thing. I get one line here, one line here. You know, am I gonna, you know, what do I do? Well, what I do in those cases is play it as far close to the hole as I can without being in danger of it going bouncing over the hole. You know, use a little backspin I have to. Because the reason that line's flickering is because you're hitting a rough, bouncy, weird spot on the green, and the line's not sure if it's going to go over the bump, left of the bump. You know, it's just a weird undulated part of the green. So what I typically do for those kind of shots, instead of trying to, you know, get a ball guide that's like 60 feet long and hoping that it rolls true to the line, is just eliminate that whole situation. Fly close to the hole, or like Steven even said in the chat, dunk it if it's really close and really easy. If you're not comfortable with dunking, which honestly I don't even dunk very much. So you know, I don't know. I just never been a dunker, but there are certain shots where you have no other choice. But you know, it's really just eliminate the line flicker by just taking it close to the hole. Especially for a super short chip. If it looks weird, looks undulated, abort. Because, you know, basically it's giving you two different lines based on two different circumstances, and if you guess the wrong line, you come up like super far or way short, and you're like, what the hell?
Great shot. Nice on.
Way too much. Yep, we like that.
Perfect shot.
Oh, too hot.
Nice on.
Ugh. Alright, 2 birdies, no mistakes. Par 3, which one is that? That's the island, so we're good. We'll leave our current setup. We'll use our Goliath. You know, like I told you guys in the chat, I don't feel like this is a go for it hole-in-one hole anymore. I mean, if you can get it to roll around, fine, but you know, we're still going to play it the same way, which is relatively safe. We're going to go to the island to the right, the bigger island, curl, side spin, backspin. You know, and just make sure we're on the green, close to the hole. You know, they took away the rough bump, or the sand bump, which is what I would say we could try to do to get the hole-in-one had they not put that tree there, but they wanted you to earn it on this one a little bit this time, so, you know, just don't try to cut your, you know, adjustment too close, too crazy. Look at that. Tailwind, a little bit to the right, which some of you guys have already seen, so we won't play far up and aggressive like we did in the shootout.
Perfect shot. Nice on.
Our opponent's executed a nice safe shot. I like it. Can he hear me? We definitely don't want that. We don't need to waste Kingmaker and a qualifier for a shot like this. We definitely want side spin.
Perfect shot. Nice on.
Okay, there we go. Nice and easy putt. Now, you just keep hitting it safely and consistently. Maybe you get a lucky roll off that hill. Maybe we get that adjustment dialed in. But yeah, I've seen a bunch of tournaments where the ball, you know, that ball rolls down the hill and it lips out a lot. You know, because it's very hard to make the hole-in-one from that angle.
Birdie.
It also keeps us out of trouble. I mean, with that helping wind, you could risk the small island, but I don't know if it would increase your hole-in-one chances a whole bunch. I definitely like going to the right, getting out of here with a
birdie.
Not having anything silly happen on the par 3 this early in the round and wrecking the whole thing. Oh, okay, we gotta start forfeiting. We don't want to qualify with that messed up shot we did earlier.
Great shot. Nice on.
All right, opponent played max backspin there. The only problem with that is the ball checks up. That's as close as he's ever going to get because he can't risk coming further over. This is what we're going to do right here.
Perfect shot.
Normally I wouldn't put that much curl. Oh, we nicked the rough. We put so much curl that we overpowered the wind too much. That's what we get for trying to be cute with it. Go Bruins! Good game, buddy. We obviously won't be so risky and so silly trying to hop over the rough when we play that hole for real. Hole 4. What are you, hole 4? Oh, I know what you are. You're one of the old holes. Alright. The winds seem to be super friendly and close, so if that keeps going here, we'll get within range and do the sniper rough bump, see if we can't get an eagle here. Yeah, well, max top and a little side spin. Don't think any of that'll be a problem.
Perfect shot.
Probably could have put a little more overpower. We shaded the overpower without really giving it any. With the limited top span of the extra mile 7, probably could have been greedier in how far down we went, but no worries. That should still be close enough.
Perfect shot.
Opponent's in a similar position. Nicely played. Oh. Oh, hey, that's right. Only a katana ball. So, with that wind being a little bit what it is, I don't think we want to try to do rough bump with the in the air with the full overpower. So we'll do it like that. Move 7.
Great shot.
We actually probably overcurled that one. Well, we did overcurl that one too.
Nice on.
We didn't get too carried away, so we're still safe. Our opponent's a hair closer, but it's still not close enough. Now the rough bump does not have to be done with the sniper. If you have a level 7 or 8 guardian, it's got a pretty good accuracy, and you only need like none or 1 top spin to do the rough bump. I think it has 2.5. So it's still a good option. The wind adjustment doesn't change much if you got a max guardian. 90 accuracy versus 100 is like 1.2 miles per hour per wind or something. With these low winds, that might give us the extra like 7-8 yards we need. We'll definitely get further into the fairway next time. To give ourselves
Great shot.
a chance. The other rough bump is more likely to make it into the one I just played. This one will get you safely on the green every time.
Nice on.
It's gonna be difficult to make the eagle like that. We'll just go ahead and start now. We don't want to mess up the qualify with like a 500 or something dumb. Yeah, we're currently out of the qualification zone. We'll keep it that way. This one, I don't remember. There's one par 3. I wanted to try something. I don't know if this is it or not. I need to review the holes so I know what hole. Oh no, I know what hole this is, but it doesn't matter. This isn't a driver hole. I can never tell what the holes are from the stupid pictures. Oh, this must be getting bad. Yeah, this is the shootout we just played a minute ago. And it's a headwind, which is kind of a good thing. Oh, hey, our opponents, they can, you know, super safe here. It's real easy to get the max backspin guardian. Nope. Yep, there you go, buddy. You'll be right.
Great shot.
Good safe play.
Nice on.
There's no way to get in trouble that way. Put a bunch of backspin. You did the same shot with the sniper. Now, I'm sure you guys remember this way of playing it as well. The old rough bump. You know, you've seen the other way a few times, so let's see if we can get going with this. Should land pretty soft right there.
Perfect shot.
Oh, use a little too much backspin. I haven't done that shot in so long. Honestly, I have no memory of what the real adjustment was. Don't trust the ball guy, that's for sure. So if you're gonna try the rough bump, I'd probably say don't even bother with the backspin. Don't worry about what the line says.
Birdie.
Probably should have added a hair with a little power too. I knew that before I hit it, but I was like, yeah. All right, hole 6. Whoops. Almost boo-booed that one. All right, I'll tell you guys. I mean, I know you guys like, you know, multiple max trophy accounts, all those gold banners and everything. Let me tell you an embarrassing story. Since you guys see my good stats, let me tell you something not so good. So, I'm in a tournament in Masters, and I've got well, I know how it turned out. At the time, I'm thinking I had a pretty good shot at a banner. I would have actually gotten 4th because I didn't have the tiebreaker. Okay, with this wind, yeah, we'll go this way. This wind. But
Perfect
okay,
shot.
so I'm doing one of those, things like I just almost did, switching clubs. I tried to play one of the longest holes on that course with a quarterback. Ended up going over the long par 4 with like a headwind. I could barely even reach the beginning of the fairway, much less, to try to reach the green on the second shot. It was terrible. Ended up making par. And ended up in, one stroke in Masters is crazy. I think I went from what would have been a 4th to like 13th. So, yeah. always keep track of what you're changing your clubs to if you're making lots of club changes. This course doesn't have a ton of club changes, but some of them do. You know, you're
Great shot.
gearing up your bag for that specific hole. So there's a cautionary tale from one of my mistakes. The tee box and my heart sank because I was like, honestly, I might have cost myself a game because I might have played better the last few holes and gotten an extra one somewhere. You know, because I was like, you know, kind of feeling real whatever about the situation when that happened. I was.
Perfect shot.
Definitely demoralizing. Oh, not high enough on that hill.
Nice on.
Okay, getting an eye level, yeah, you definitely need to hug more. I put them at side spin. You want to hug that top portion a little bit better. I don't know if this is just going to be an albatross. People are going to make a whole bunch, but it could be makeable if you get it on the right line and not too much speed.
Perfect shot.
Alright, so we played it well. See the green, no problem. Easy, easy. We'll go back to even par. Another thing I see people do sometimes, and it doesn't usually bite you in the butt, especially not a pro, but I've seen it happen to a couple people. They're like, oh, I'll play, get a good score, and I'll forfeit the last like 2 or 3 holes and whatever. Then they shoot like -5 because they had a really good run, and then start forfeiting. They're like, okay, but that shouldn't qualify. And they get in 10th place. You're gonna not qualify? Not qualify. Kind of like laying up. You're gonna lay up? Lay up. Oh, this is the one. Hole 7. And you got the rock, and you got the quarterback. At the levels that I currently have them, I feel like the rock is gonna be the better choice here. Accuracy is 94, you know, so you're like 1.1 a ring instead of 1. So I mean, I don't nitpick that much. I'll do 1 a ring. Good ball guide. We don't need top spin, adequate backspin. And then we'll just adjust whatever ball we need to make sure it's long enough to do the rough bump we want to do. You know, we did this rough bump in practice with an extra mile, so it should be very easy to do with the more accurate, more ball guide on the rock here. I really feel like this is one, and if this adjustment, if we can get it right, we can make a hole-in-one here. All right, and we don't even need to switch balls. We got plenty. Yeah, I kind of like this thick section of rough here. It really kills that guy. The wind's helping us come in at an angle anyway. You kidding me, ball guide? Yeah, maybe we just landed right here then. Running out of time, messing around.
Perfect shot.
That's definitely not going to be the hole-in-one, but we ran out of time trying to play
Nice
the adjustment too much. Since we didn't do it before, but okay, I like that landing area right there just to the side of the thick green. Yeah, and then, you know, if you have D-recorder, or if you're watching, you D-record some of your own holes on shots you really want to take, then you can go back and have a really accurate view of what you did, look at your adjustment, take a screenshot of your aim point, your spin, and then make your adjustments based off of that, instead of just trying to remember. So that's another thing you can do. Like, I can review this entire stream, take screenshots, you know, my adjustment points, and that way you're not trying to recalculate
Perfect
the wind
shot.
and all this other different stuff every time. You already know what shot you're going to hit. You already know how you're going to hit it. And now you just need to go in and make those little tiny adjustments. And I don't review my notes for like my whole round right before a round. I do it, hole by hole. And so I'll review my notes for hole one, screenshots, my video recordings of me playing hole, anything I have from my qualifier, and then I'll play the hole. And I'll do the same thing for hole two. So you have only that hole on your mind, only the information for that hole in your head. You review all your notes, and then you get in there, you can sometimes get it jumbled up. If you got one of those steel traps for a brain, sure, more power to you, go for it. But if you're trying to be extra careful, extra sure, normal memory, hole by hole, like I said, 18 individual holes, not a round of golf, so to speak.
Great shot.
For golf clash versus real golf.
Nice on.
Oh, hey. If we weren't being jerks and we were paying attention, we would have just helped our buddy out here and forfeited before we hit a shot, but we forgot and made a birdie. Don't stream and play at the same time. Can't do two things. Alright, back to -1, so we need to go. It's also good to play them as individual holes, is to check your bag after every hole. That'll eliminate, just a quick peek your bag after every hole to make sure you haven't changed anything on purpose or an accident. Alright, Larry, show us the way. Alright, so the wind's going to the right, so I think we should go to the right. Pretty easy. Larry's gonna be unconventional. Curl back into the wind. Yeah, he's safe. I guess he feels like the angle's better from over there. I don't know if that's really true. Yeah, honestly. Since we're throwing this round anyway, I guarantee you that's too much.
Perfect shot.
Did we play enough wind? Okay, so maybe we could have done close to max top spin after all with the katana. Maybe just two more. But with such a friendly wind, why not take advantage? Obviously, I don't think that's a terrible shot for even if you're not 100% confident you're going to hit the perfect. But if you don't play close to the edge, you put a little curl, a little side spin, and aim, a little more left than I did, to where the ball lands kind of in the middle of that landing area. As long as you have a left curl and side spin, and you don't miss it to the left too much, you will still be plenty safe. Even if you end up in the rough to the left or something, to the right, I think you'll be plenty safe. Have no problem getting there with a Nirvana.
Nice on.
You'll see here we're gonna have maybe a Goliath, maybe even a Thorn. So I don't think we're that far away. Oh yeah, that's definitely the shot I think we should consider playing. Because if you land there and you get far enough down, it's a great place to do that rough bump, or play the max backspin Thorn shot. honestly. Even though we don't have... We don't have
Perfect
the Hornet
shot.
equipped, but you know what? I still kind of like the rough bump on this one. Yep.
Nice on.
Yep. I think that's the play, especially, you know, you got the Hornet. You know, that's one of your favorites. You know, play this one as the rough bump. I can't remember. Is this the one you rough bumped, Edward? Is that the tee shot you played? I can't remember what
Birdie.
If so, then you executed it better than I did, and you're dead on how you played the hole. Hit it far down there to the right, get within short iron range. Nice safe rough bump. Extra safe because of the side wind. You know, it's distance.
Birdie.
With most of the side wind, you've only got to worry about, you know, whether or not it goes in or not. But it's going to safely be in the green, pretty much no matter what. If you over adjust or under adjust, you're just going to miss left or right with side wind. Whereas headwind, you might under adjust and check it up or something. Let's see if we can redeem ourselves with our rough bump skills. What I know we're gonna do. Alright, we'll just compensate like this. Since it's being
Perfect
weird and trying to
shot.
find that bunker. Whoops. Man, we're just butchering that shot. He used to be really good at it. Give Larry some coins. Play safe, Larry. Don't do anything silly. Take those coins and run, buddy.
Great shot.
That should be good. Good enough. Good job, Larry. I like it, buddy.
Nice on.
Alright, one last. Oh, birdie. Forfeit the last hole. Oh, we're all in 12. I don't think that'll be an issue. What do we got? Oh, we got some 11 others. Nine. We're gonna just go ahead and stick with the sniper and make sure that that's okay. For whatever reason, the sniper seems like it's not gonna cut it. We will readjust our thinking and use something longer, but I think it'll be fine because it seems like Pro's getting all tailwinds. We didn't have any problem on the other par 5 with just a sniper. And a little top spin, but we didn't even have to overpower it.
Perfect
You
shot.
know, you got sniper 9 or 10. That's probably sniper for this whole tournament. Your choice of Thorn or of Hornet. Probably Backbone, Goliath, whichever you like better, whichever is more leveled up for us down here at the pro level. And then obviously your choice of driver. You know, if you got a leveled up Apocalypse or Thor, by all means, but for most of us, I think it's gonna be the old extra mile over here.
Perfect shot.
So nothing special about that shot. Just adjust for the wind. You don't have to put any curls. Put a little side spin. You just get the hug and give yourself the angle over there. You know, how far? I wonder how much further back was he than me? No, not that much. This might be also another good hole to use a more powerful ball,
shot.
a Kingmaker. Not for the tee shot, but so your second shot, you know, you've got a longer ball. You definitely want to make eagle here. See, I still don't like this shot, even though that's the way the wind would kind of tell me to go. Oh, we didn't give ourselves a great angle for that either. Honestly, it might be worth bouncing into this this little guy right here. Let's try to do what the wind's telling us we should do and go this way.
Great shot.
Wow, still didn't curl enough. Not even close. Yeah, I hate that way. Figured we'd try it for shit and giggles since we're forfeiting this hole anyway. But the way I made the eagle in the practice round, I just think that shot's easier. But I was curious, and obviously, if we got a little riskier and we hit the drive a little further, or for Edward with you with the Thor 5, then we use Big Dog. I wonder if we could do a sand bump.
Great shot. Nice on.
That might be something. Maybe I'll investigate that and mess around tomorrow. And this is also why I prefer the Malibu. I know I saw some of you guys with Spitfire. If you're in the fairway bunker, you've already screwed up on this course. You're probably in bad shape. You know, neither of them is going to get you on the green. So always go with the club. It gives you more chipping prowess. And if we were actually going to want to make this, yeah, whatever. If we get lucky and we make it, I don't think it'll affect. I think we're safe from qualifying. Holy, did I have a seizure? Well, we're safe either way. No qualifying for us.
Nice on.
If we hurry up and forfeit before our friend takes his shot, maybe we can save his score a little. I don't know if it'll help or not at this point. Hurry, go. Actually, I think he got the same thing he would have gotten. I would have had to do it before he hit his other shot. But there we go. We're not going to qualify. We're going to take what we've learned, review this, play a little bit tomorrow. But we saw some good shots. We saw some what not to do. And you guys have already, a lot of you guys have already played and either qualified or didn't qualify and going to go again tomorrow so that you could get extra practice. So hopefully, between some of the shots we tried here, we have a better understanding of how we want to game plan. We can go discuss it in the chat. Typically I like to have my game plan set by the time qualifying's over and then not deviate from it. Nothing worse than like, well, I didn't qualify, I did an opening, but, I didn't make the extra shot either time, so let's just go a totally different way, and maybe that'll work out on the weekend. But you haven't practiced that way, you haven't honed in the adjustment for that way, and then something catastrophic happens. So we got Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. We hone in our adjustments. We game plan, and then Thursday we're just trying to do the best we can and practice the adjustments we already have in mind. Play the course, stick to our game plan, and hopefully the weekend we get a few extras to drop and get some good stuff. All right, guys, that's this stream. As always, post any questions, videos, anything you want me and Steven to review in the chat, and I'll talk to you guys later.